What's up, everybody? Welcome to Are You Down with LPT, the podcast where agents like you share their stories, experiences, and insights to help each other level up and thrive. In every episode, we're diving deep into the real-life challenges, wins, and lessons from the front lines. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, this is the place to connect, learn, and grow together. So, if you're ready to get down with LPT and take your game to the next level, let's jump in. Welcome to Are You Down with LPT? I'm Kyle Clarkson. I'm here today with our own Alysa King. How are you, Alysa?
Good. How are you?
You're so excited for this. I can sense it. So tell us a little bit. Let's get to know you. So our agents get to know you a little bit better. Background. You know, what you've been doing in life.
Yeah, so I graduated from Grandview University in 2023 with a degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing. And then during my time at Grandview, I had an internship with a small nutrition shop in Pleasant Hill. So that's kind of where I started my marketing journey out in the real world, I guess you could say. And then after that, after I graduated, Sean Mackey is actually the one that brought me into real estate over at Coldwell Banker. So I started there as the social media specialist, and then in less than a year, I was promoted to the demand generation manager.
Well, what does that mean? Demand generation manager?
Yep. So that was basically helping the company and agents get leads. So whether that's running ads or doing some other kind of promotional stuff.
Well, I think marketing is a huge part of what we do. Heard it said all business is innovation and marketing, and so as real estate, I wish I would have got a degree in marketing. If I went back, that's what I would do. I would get a degree in marketing, because in real estate, I think that's probably one of the most important things that we can do.
Yeah.
So obviously, we're excited to have you with us. But what's one of your favorite thing? Well, maybe you don't enjoy working with agents, but what's one of your favorite thing about working with agents?
I guess I have two different things. I would say that real estate in particular, and with agents, it's just something different every single day. I told myself I never wanted a desk job where I just sit there all day, which I do sit a lot during the day, but I'm not doing the same thing every single day, which is something that I really love. And then with the agents in particular, you know, there's so many different personalities and so many different ways that the agents work. So I like to see all that and kind of figure out, you know, who I work best with, and even helping the ones that maybe I don't work the best with, but yeah.
And it's always amazing to me, like, there is no one way to do real estate or even market in real estate, and everybody's got different strengths, and so it's cool to see people kind of use their gifts and whatever that might be. So give us a fun fact that maybe people don't know about you.
So a fun fact about me is, since I was in first grade, I have been a baton twirler, and I can twirl fire. 3 batons on fire at once.
We're going to give this on video. We should have had someday we'll do a podcast with video, and we'll demonstrate that.
We can do a talent show, and you can dance.
I have danced a time or two, but definitely never twirled any batons with fire.
I can teach you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so building a brand, we are big here at Legacy about agents building their own brand. It's what we want to be about. It's one of the reasons we partnered with LPT. And we believe every agent is a brand, even if they don't know that yet. So what are some maybe common branding mistakes? Or maybe start with that, my statement. Why is every agent a brand? Because I believe that to be true, but why is that true?
Yeah, I guess first off, that's what I really loved about Legacy and LPT, and that's kind of one of the reasons that drew me over here, is that is so true, that every agent is so different, so it's important to have that branding for yourself. And, you know, whether you realize it or not, you are the brand, especially in real estate. So kind of just thinking on how you communicate is how you're going to show up online, even when it comes down to like the colors and fonts that you use, how you speak. All of that matters, because your clients are forming opinions based on you, and that is your brand. So yeah, I would just say, you know, a lot of the successful agents are the ones who lean into their brand, and they're intentionally putting themselves out there with that brand, rather than just kind of, messing around with all different kinds of things.
I love that. And I can't stress enough, like, legacy's great, and we want people to connect with legacy, but we understand at the end of the day, you just said it, people are going to work with you as an agent because you are that brand. So build it, and we want to come alongside and help people build that brand. That's what we want legacy to be about. Not for agents to go build our brand, but for them to build theirs. So maybe what's some common branding mistake that agents make?
I would say the biggest mistake would be inconsistency. When you're creating your brand, you want to really stick to it. So don't jump between styles and logos. And, when you create a social media account, you need to use those accounts. If you're not going to use it, don't create it. We see, agents creating brands and then kind of neglecting them because they think, it's only for like big teams, or maybe luxury markets only need brands, but that's not true. Like I just said before, branding is how you're going to stand out in the market, and that's how your clients are going to remember you. They're going to see your brand and know, put your face to your brand. So you definitely want to own it and make sure that you're consistent with it.
How do you think agents find their voice and visual identity?
Definitely first start off by thinking about how you're different, how you want to run your business, your values, your personality, the kind of clients you like to work with. That all kind of goes into it. Think about if you're detail-oriented and professional, or if you're a little more fun and laid back. That lean into that, because that carries into your tone of voice. That all goes into how you write your captions, how you speak in videos, how you reply to people. For visual identity, I would say, choose a color palette. Maybe you have a favorite color, just work with that. And then all of that will kind of go off of the style that reflects you. So make sure that it is authentic to you. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It can be something super simple. Just like I said, maybe my favorite color is pink, so I want my brand to have pink in it. It doesn't have to be super complex and hard. Just once you think of something that you want to lean into, stick with it. And if you're, stuck and you need some help kind of figuring out your branding, we have me, and Connie can help you figure that out too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good words of advice there. Okay, so let's get into daily routine a little bit. I am big on, if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. And so we talk about making our calls. That's one of the things we should do. We want to follow up as part of what we should do. Marketing is part of what you should do. And whether it's time to, just be creative, or time to set aside to do, whether it's social media or video or whatever it might be, to set it aside. But if you were going to say, as we talk about daily routine, what's a great marketing day look like for an agent?
I think a lot of agents, when they think about marketing, they think, oh my gosh, it's going to take up my whole entire day. I have to sit down for hours on end and create content. That's really not what it is. It doesn't mean spending all day. It just means being intentional with what you're doing. So you could wake up and start by posting something quick. It could be a story. It could just be a graphic, kind of anything, just to show that you're active and engaged. And then also another important part of it, not just posting, it's also engaging with the people that you follow. Maybe you are friends with clients on Facebook, making sure that you're staying engaged and staying top of mind. If people are reaching out to you, you need to be responding to them. And then you can kind of mix in some behind the scene moments, some client shout outs or a neighborhood spotlight. Really, I would think of it as like even just spending 30 to 60 minutes a day can help you stay top of mind in your market, and that is beyond important.
Yeah. So, is there a daily 5 or, daily list for staying visible and relevant?
Yeah, I kind of put together a little list here. And this isn't something you have to do every day, but again, it's not something that's going to take you forever to do. So number 1 would be just posting something quick to your story in the morning or sometime throughout your day. It can literally be you stopping by a coffee shop and you can just post that. Or maybe you're going to an agent open, just take a picture of the outside of the house and kind of say, oh, agent open. The next would be engaging with at least 5 people. Again, this can be like leaving comments on their posts, sending them a quick DM. This could be past clients, new leads, other agents. And then another one would be sharing local value. This one is really important, I would say, because you want people to kind of know where your market is and where you're working. So this could be posting a new listing, or maybe you're going to an event that's not even real estate related. Maybe you're going to an iCubs game. You can post something like that. Or maybe you tried a new restaurant. You can post something about the new restaurant and recommend people to go there. Another one would be following up. This is kind of like engaging with the people by commenting on their posts and stuff. But social media is a great way to get people's attention, but it's useless if you're not following up with those who are interacting with you. So ensuring that if someone sends you a DM or if someone comments that they're interested in one of the properties you have, responding to them and staying top of mind. The last is the most important and the easiest, is take at least one photo or video to use. You don't have to overthink it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe you're just inside your listing, take a photo. Outside your listing, take a photo. Maybe take a short 60-second walkthrough video. Just gathering that content so you can use it at a later point.
I mean, we go through the motion all the time. My client Sunday took a picture because I forgot to put a sold sign up, and she just attached a little sold sign, and I'm like, oh, that's cute, and I posted, and like great interaction with it, and it was something simple that happened in the moment. But you think of showing houses, catching those moments as much as you can, because I think that's, engagement-wise, probably where you get a little more of it.
Yeah.
Tools and platforms. A lot of us as agents, we concentrate on selling. We got our heads down, selling real estate. We know we need to do marketing, don't always know where to start. But if you had tools and platforms that you would highly recommend, what would they be?
Yeah, so I have 5 different tools. And again, you don't have to use all of these. These are just ones that I really like. Number 1 would be Canva. This is perfect for creating your brand, creating graphics and templates that you can use. I know a lot of us here at LPT use the Canva account, so that's awesome. And then the next would be CapCut. So this is a video editing tool. This is a really easy way to create, short reels or even long videos, listing videos. All you do is simply upload the videos, and it kind of does all the work for you. You can add some audio to it. The third one is probably the biggest thing right now, ChatGPT. AI is really great. This I use a lot for, helping write listing remarks, getting captions for social media, or even if you're needing content ideas, you can simply type in there, create some content ideas for a real estate agent or something similar, and it will come up with a list of ideas for you. So that's always good if you're having a hard time thinking of things.
I had a listing that was stagnant, and I'm like, okay, what are some ideas? Because my client's like, what are you going to do to sell this? So I jumped in ChatGPT, and I'm like, hey, give me 5 ideas for a stagnant listing, what I should do. And boom, jumped out ideas. So I'm like, some of them I like, some I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, this is great. And I share with my client, and they're like, oh, those are good ideas. And so I think ChatGPT is a great way to for about any aspect of your business. So anyway, I cut you off there.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. What were the last 2?
Meta Business Suite, which allows for you to schedule content on Facebook and Instagram, so that's really nice. And then Google Drive, I would say, just for keeping everything organized. You can have a Google document with the captions that you want, and then you can have a folder with all the photos and graphics or whatever you want to post on your social media. Just kind of, piling content in there that you can even use at a later date.
So I struggle with having time. And so I went through a phase where I was making videos. I was determined I'm going to do one video, put it on TikTok every week. And I did that great for a long time. Then I got super busy and it just kind of fell off. Mm-hmm. So how do we create content when we don't have time?
Yeah, batching content and repurposing stuff is going to be your best friend, especially when you're super busy. I think a lot of times when people are creating content, when you're batching it, it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to save you time in the long run. So you might have to sit down for 1 to 2 hours at the beginning of the month, maybe for one day. And once you get all that content batched, you're good for the rest of the month, and you don't even really have to worry about it again. And just think to use things that are more simple. So, a client success story or a testimonial, you can grab those right off of your Google business profile, and that takes, 5 minutes to create. You can film multiple short videos in 20 minutes and kind of drip them throughout the week or even throughout the month. Just quick content, record a 10-second video of you walking into a showing or post a selfie with a quick real estate tip. I like to say you don't need to be perfect. You just have to stay present. So imperfect and consistent beats perfect and invisible every time. So just show your authentic self. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even if, again, it's just a selfie or a simple photo of the outside of your listing. Just getting out there and posting stuff and showing that you're consistent with your posting and you're active. That's really all that matters.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So talk about some marketing must-dos for agents, the non-negotiables in today's market.
Number one is visibility, like I was just saying. If you're going to have a platform like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, you need to use it. Mm-hmm. You don't want, clients going onto your Facebook and you haven't posted in 6 months. That doesn't look good. And you have to be where your clients are, which is online, in your community, and you want to be in their inbox. So this means, having an updated Google business profile. So if they're searching for a real estate agent in their area, you're going to be at the top of the list. And then being active on at least one social media platform and staying in touch with your sphere via, text or email. Sending out a newsletter at the beginning of every month. That's such an easy way to hit your whole SOI with one click of a button, basically. Beyond that, I would say, having a solid branding and clear messaging is pretty essential. If people don't know who you are or what you do, they won't reach out to you, and that all comes through on your social media.
Yeah, know, trust, and like. It's an adage we use all the time. They got to know you. They got to trust you, and they got to like you. And for most of our agents, if not all of them, all of them, I should say, but trust and like is something. That's why we partner with these agents, because they are trustworthy. Yeah. They are likable. Where some of us struggle is, people just don't know we sell real estate.
Yep.
And that's where the marketing comes in. And people have to know that top of mind. They have to know we sell real estate. And I think the more people we can connect with that way, the more people are going to actually know what we do and trust and like us to do it. So social media, what's worth doing? What's not worth doing? Where are we going to find gains in that?
What's worth doing is, just showing up consistently. Instagram and Facebook, I would say if you don't want to dig deep into social media, those are going to be the two easiest. That's where you're going to reach a lot of people in your community. Short form videos like Reels or TikToks, those are huge right now. And again, you don't need to go viral on any of these platforms. You just need to connect with different people around you. What's not worth doing, I would say, is, overproducing content that stresses you out. If it's going to take you hours to film a video or edit something, don't do it. And also just avoid posting just to post. Every piece of content should, have a purpose, whether it's to educate, connect, or inspire somebody.
That's good. I know we need to, there's consistency that's important. And I go back to what I posted the other day, just my sold sign with a little sold sticker on top. And then there's like the storytelling that goes into it. Yeah. And that stuff is going to gain so much more traction than, hey, I sold this, I got a listing. But we know we need to do those things because it's part of it and part of our consistency. But you've said it a few times, we got to let ourselves, personalities come to life in our marketing. So consistency versus creativity, you just kind of talked a little bit about that, but how do you balance both?
Yeah, so, consistency builds the trust. Like we were saying, you want people to know you and then build trust with them. So that's kind of what consistency will do. And then creativity keeps their attention. You need both, obviously, but some easy way to do this is, build a system that has repeatable themes. So like a Market Monday or maybe a Motivational Monday, Testimonial Tuesday, where you post a testimonial every Tuesday from a past client. Something like that will give you structure, and then that kind of hits the consistency, and then you can sprinkle in the creativity when you're inspired. Like kind of what you did with your fun little sold sign that girl made you. Just posting something funny or heartfelt. So once you start kind of with consistency, the creativity will come along.
Yeah, that's good. So you talked a little bit ago about AI, and AI is obviously everywhere, but what are your thoughts on AI, automation, and authenticity, in agent marketing?
I love AI.
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT every day, whether it's for work or just fun to create fun photos and stuff. But I think they're amazing. It's important to keep in mind that you want to be authentic, and sometimes when you're using AI, it can come across and not sound like you. So just being sure that if you're using it, kind of put it into your own words if you're using it for like a caption or something. It's good for brainstorming. It's good for, scheduling content and helping you do things more efficiently. But you don't want it to overcome you and let it replace kind of your brand and your voice.
I heard one, or somebody sent me a post the other day, and they're like, what does this sound like? And it was clear somebody had just copied and pasted what was in there. And so I don't want it to just be ChatGPT saying it. It was kind of like what I brought up earlier, like, okay, give me 5 tips. And it wasn't just copying and pasting and like throw it in there. But then I'm like, oh, these are good ideas. How can they relate to the listing that I have and make sure that it's still me within that marketing? So I love ChatGPT, but then I don't just copy and paste and send it out. Like, okay, where are the ideas? Make it me. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. Okay, lightning round here. Favorite marketing tool right now?
I think CapCut. I like to edit videos and create funny reels and stuff to post on social media. So, yeah.
CapCut, good. One word that you would describe great marketing?
Authentic. Obviously the most important. Being real and showing who you are will always resonate with your clients.
Most overused font?
Comic Sans.
That's good. All right. I love Times New Roman. Is that
we don't like that either.
We don't like that one either. Marketing trend that you think might need to go?
This is a little controversial, but I think the generic just listed and just sold posts that have no personality, that could be copy and pasted by 100 other agents. It's not building your brand, making sure that it's not to say you can't post a just listed post or just sold, but make sure that it has your branding on it, that when someone comes across it on their feed, they know that it's yours and it's telling a story and adding value to your business rather than just using a generic template and throwing it out there.
Yep. And then, I don't know if people know this, but you're famous. You had your famous, was it last weekend? Weekend before?
Weekend before.
Yeah, so she was on CBS, and if you guys didn't know that, what were you on CBS for?
I went down to the Final Four in San Antonio, and I don't know who the people are that do the talking on the show,
right. But you were there.
I was back there, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw her. She is now famous. We're lucky that she's still here. But her fiance is a big Florida Gator fan. They were national champions, so congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Do you know their slogan, their 2-bit slogan now? You got that?
I don't have it memorized, but I've read it a few times.
Do you want to try? What does it say?
I don't know. 2 bits?
4 bits, 6 bits, $1, all for the Gators. Stand up and holler.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I got it.
You got it now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Alyssa, we appreciate it, and definitely look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Thank you.
All right. That's a wrap for today's episode of Are You Down with LPT? Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you get some valuable takeaways to apply to your journey. New episodes drop every Friday, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss out. And hey, if you have your own story you'd like to share or questions you'd like to dive into, hit us up. Until next time, stay down with LPT and keep leveling up. Catch you in the next one.